The Cardano ecosystem has been growing quite nicely over the last year since the launch of smart contracts, and WingRiders is one DEX on the Cardano ecosystem that is bringing a whole bunch of new innovations, new technology, and new development, and is now celebrating their first anniversary since launch on mainnet. And I have Karan joining me to give us a little bit of an insight and a look back over the year that WingRiders has just had.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.
But first off, let's have a look at the TVL and everything around the DEX itself. And we can currently see it's ranked third, just behind Mintop and Indigo. So we'll see this grow as the Cardano ecosystem grows overall. And I'm pretty excited about the whole Cardano DeFi environment at the moment. We're just about under a year out from the next Bitcoin halving. And to have all of this set up and ready for a big surge is really exciting. So we're seeing all these protocols launching on Cardano. We're seeing the maturity of some of these, and the ecosystems really solidify themselves in the Cardano ecosystem. And we're just ready for that really big, nice boom when the next bull run actually happens. So I'm really excited about what may happen. I can't predict that it will happen. What may happen in the next bull run. Now, the WingRiders team have put out a nice Twitter thread in regards to the last year that the DEX has had, but I'll let Karan here step in and talk about the initial start of the DEX and give us a little bit of a history recap.
Just to take you back to the beginning, really, kind of the idea of the DEX sort of emerged, and then sort of 7.5 months later, you've launched the DEX, and the first testnet kind of coming out of stealth with proof of capability in 3 months. So really rapid development, coming out. So if you imagine an idea is born, no marketing, no name. I think it was the end of summer of 2021. And, 1.5 months later, you've developed a proof of concept that is covering many of the kind of areas that you want to sort of come out with the swaps and the pools.
Now, it's pretty interesting to note that the WingRiders team also launched 2 versions of their DEX, one that was integrated directly into the NuFi wallet, and also the one that was launched that looked very similar to the DEXs that everyone is quite used to.
We had one which was the integration with NuFi, sort of demonstrating sort of one of the ethoses of the project that, they want to contribute to the actual sort of ecosystem. So it was embedded within a wallet, NuFi. And sort of the second testnet also came live shortly after that, which was the sort of testnet proper, the platform itself for everyone to have a look at, publicly.
Now, when they launched their DEX, they launched it with farming rewards on there, with hardware wallet support from the Ledger Nanos and the Trezor as well, and also the stake pool ADA rewards on there. And that's some pretty cool innovative stuff that they brought to the ecosystem. They also brought over stable assets such as USDC and USDT over via the Nomad bridge. Unfortunately, there was a hack on the Ethereum side of that bridge, and it drained all of the liquidity on the bridge itself. And it affected a lot of people in the Cardano ecosystem, as well as the WingRiders DEX.
Being pioneering and wanting to be innovative, obviously, we wanted to, the DEX wanted to bring about sort of the first sort of, if you like, bridged assets from other networks. And this in itself was quite challenging, but very exciting. And so we were dependent on other partners. I think it was Flint Wallet and Milkomeda at the time to get these sort of ETH and BTC and USDC and USDT, and then the DEX would go live. We know that brought about its challenges. We'll kind of look at that as well, with the bridge then suddenly getting hacked. And then, you're on mainnet, and then suddenly you got other challenges like that. The project itself obviously lost some funds within that hack as well. And there were also initial issues, for instance, with the public sort of bridge not being open when USDC and USDT came for the first time to Cardano. And that has some arbitrage issues that, obviously people couldn't come and arbitrage it. So there was price. So there's lots of challenges as well. It wasn't, plain sailing, as they say. But at the end of the day, those challenges are, I think, sort of present for many projects. And the main thing is the ethos of sort of moving forward, continuing developing, continuing sort of sticking to your goals, and just saying, well, this has happened, we've got to move on, and kind of continuing.
But then the team progressed to the public sale, the token generation event, and took a really community approach in regards to the IDO, communicating and engaging with the community to work out where best to actually do this IDO to allow people to gain access to the DEX and to the tokens as well, the WingRiders token.
Now we've got the public sale coming up, right? So this was, again, sort of quite a democratic process where the community decided sort of the IDO platforms and the method. And in the end, it was decided to do like 3 separate IDOs, and also do what we call the whitelist ICO on Cardano. This again was quite interesting, and from a technical standpoint, where you've got 3 different chains, Milcom, the Cardano, and Binance Smart Chain happening. Once that public sale obviously went live, the token generation event in itself was, again, interesting from a technical standpoint, where price discovery, you had to go onto centralized exchanges. So the token was listed in order to enable price discovery and people to trade. Then the token generation event itself, so there's like 6,000, I think, wallets receive their tokens within 6 minutes, which again is fast by anyone's standards. So that gave equal chances to multiple people who are buying these WRT tokens on the different platforms to receive their tokens and go. Even with the centralized exchange, they were coming from 2 different chains, the WRT, so integrations, all those technical wizardry that had to happened luckily well, and everyone received their tokens, price discovery started, etc.
Now, the team have worked with many other Cardano projects in the ecosystem to bring in extra rewards on the platform.
Like, for instance, another one, the great thing is all the partnerships, the double yield farms, which is, again, a collaboration between, obviously, WingRiders and other projects to sort of bring more gains for the liquidity providers. And I think WingRiders is very proud to say that they're still the place for sextuple gains, which is 6 types of gains. You won't find that in definitely RealFi or TradeFi, and even I think in the world that we operate in, DeFi, it's quite rare that one liquidity provision act with ADA, and you can go and farm it, and then you can go and boost it on our boosting vault, and etc. And if you had those like FTs that were given out, you get 6 types of rewards just by one act.
So when you provide liquidity to a particular pool on the DEX, you earn the pool fees itself. So each time a person transacts on the DEX, there is a fee taken, and as a liquidity provider, you earn a portion of that. Next, you have your farming rewards. So if you're locked in your LP tokens to the DEX itself, you earn some of the WingRiders tokens. Now, if you happen to be in a double farm pool such as NMaker here, you'll be earning your WingRiders token as well as the NMaker token too. Now, they've integrated in the ADA staking, so any ADA that you have staked within the protocol, you'll also earn your ADA rewards. Now, they also have this interesting thing here where they have the boosted pool, and I'll just bring that up. So they have this boosted vault here, and let me just change this because it is hurting my eyes. So you can earn the extra rewards here from the boosting vault for locking in your WRT tokens into that liquidity pool as well. Now, finally, if you have the fungible token, which was given for all the early adopters on the DEX itself, the Rider fungible token, you could use that, stake in the ecosystem, and earn that little bit extra rewards. Now, they have brought out some new mascots, those fungible tokens. I really hope we do get these as fungible tokens. I actually don't have the Rider one myself. I missed out on that one, but have a look at these here. So the first one here we have is the robot itself, which is pretty cool. The next one here, this one really got my attention. Yeah, the ape. Kind of creepy. The Planet of the Apes really creeped me out as a movie. It feels too realistic. Now this one here, this one's all around the community and the DAO. They spent a lot of time getting all of these created, I think. And the last one here, this is one is pretty cool as well. This one's, if you haven't seen it, let me just reveal it for you. There we go. They definitely did spend a lot of time putting all of these together. Now, just like any DEX in the DeFi ecosystem, there is that whole community aspect of a DAO and governance in there as well. And that's the main idea of the WRT token. It was a governance token that you could use as voting power on the DEX itself to help steer and direct the future of the protocol.
So the whole idea was that one day a DAO would be formed, and really the sort of direction of the project would be left to the actual members of that DAO. And in, I think it was Q3 of 2022, the DAO governance portal was launched, fully on chain, proposals even in IPFS, so everything in one place, Also the sort of community improvement portal, which is a discussion portal where if you have an idea, like the ones you were just discussing, you first go there and you sort of form that idea, see how much support there is, then you bring it in and formalize it with a proposal on the actual sort of voting, if you like, UI, and then obviously it gets voted on, and then it gets posted. And also the other thing is that it's fully possible for anyone to verify the results.
Now, with the growing Cardano ecosystem in general, we're seeing stablecoins and synthetic stables grow into the ecosystem, such as IUSD, JED. They're all appearing now, and soon we'll see USDA and USDM and other stable assets appear in the Cardano ecosystem. And WingRiders brought out Stableswaps. So this is a completely different constant product formula, which is normally used for a trading pair. They're using the Curve one, which is slightly different. I won't get into the technicals here, but it allows you to swap between two stable assets, such as the JED and the IUSD, which are both US dollar pegged, and you can swap between them with very low slippage and very low priced impact. When you're swapping between two assets that are technically identical, you'd expect them to be identical on the way out. So if you put in 100 USD on the way in, you expect to get 100 USD back out minus a couple of fees. So having those stable swap pools there really helps with the capital efficiency. So it's really important and really cool that the team brought this out.
Sort of, if you like, the development for the stable swap was ready to launch, but there wasn't, the assets to actually do it. So as soon as I think JED went live, it was, hey, obviously, projects are always in touch. They're communicating when these assets or the project's assets will go live. And when it went live, whoopee, stable swaps is definitely a big deal. And there's no DEX at the moment that has both the AM Uniswap V2 version and the Curve running alongside each other, fully audited contracts, very safe to kind of trade on and swap on and do all those great things,
Now, there's some special anniversary gifts that the team are bringing out, and one of them happens to be light mode.
Well, I think we've got several gifts for the anniversary. One is the light mode, again, community request, DAO request, and really the light mode and dark mode sort of switch was a big thing. So that's here. Also,
really, that's a big thing.
Really, honestly, there was a lot of interest, really, about sort of having the light mode as well as the dark mode. I know. Also, asset prices were generally shown in ADA. Now, ADA USD switch can happen. So you can see the price of the assets in ADA or USD. So either or.
Now, both of those features are actually implemented on the DEX already. If you log in with your wallet, you'll be able to switch between light mode and switch between the ADA price there. So you can see the price in ADA for those particular liquidity pools, and then switch it back to USD, and you can see the equivalent value in the USD there. So it's really cool that they announced it had it implemented straight away. What that third unique thing is, I don't know. Karan didn't tell me either. Now, if you want a full read up of all of the things that the team have accomplished over the last year and what's coming up next on their roadmap, they have a Medium article here that talks all about it. The too long did not read is actually quite long itself, but hopefully I went through it all on this video for you so that you can absorb it there and take it all in. There is a lot going on and there's a lot more coming on the DEX as well. So I absolutely love what the team are bringing to the Cardano ecosystem and everything else around it as well. Now, if you're wanting the full interview, I've put that up on the channel as well, and members will be able to actually see that. So if you're a member, you'll be able to access the whole unedited interview. Cardano with Paul also did an interview as well, and you can get access to that one on his channel. I'll put a link down below for you guys so you can check that one out. But if you really enjoy this content, please consider giving me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click on that notification bell. You get notified as soon as I bring out new videos. But until the next one, I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.